Hey, what's up guys? I perfectly planned out a Pekka deck to dominate ladder. This deck is extremely fun to play, and it's nothing like you've ever seen before. We've got a lot of log bait elements with the guards and the princess. So if our opponent decides to drop their bar barrels, logs, or small spells to finish those off, you guys already know the graveyard freeze is going to come in, and there's going to be nothing to clean up all of the skeletons surrounding the tower. And that's not even talking about the Pekka power. If you're able to reset your opponent's stuff with the zappies, clean up your opponent's distractions with the princess, or just freeze everything in place and with the Pekka on the tower, you are going to do devastating damage. And because I just made this deck, no one has ever seen it on ladder before. So when they see Princess, they'll feel like it's a log bait deck. When they see Pekka, they're like, it's gotta be bridge spam. By the time that they finally figure out what you're playing, the Pekka Graveyard Freeze will be slaying. The card synergy of Graveyard Freeze and Princess is so strong. When your opponent tries to defend the graveyard and then all their units get frozen and you go for a Princess at the river, you can splash onto their units and hit their tower at the exact same time. And if your opponent has to worry about defending princesses at the river, they're gonna be dropping things in front of their tower that will never help out against the graveyard. You don't even need a tank to cross the river with Graveyard Freeze because your opponent's not able to shoot anything anyway since their stuff is just frozen. There are so many stuns and stops with this deck with the zappies, tornado, and freeze, and it is bound to frustrate anyone that plays against it. This is one of the safest decks for ladder because you've got so many small spells to combat any bait deck, you crush Hog Riders, any bridge spam, you name it, this is one of the best decks that I've played. So let's go jump straight to some ladder games, make some people rage quit, and hopefully assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. And a huge thanks to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to support the channel. So jumping into this one against the green giant, is this guy actually gonna have a green thumb? Is he gonna start spamming stuff on every single side? I'm here for it, dude. Easy king tower activation with that tornado. No Hog Rider hits up in here.
Si Optimum Pride!
Stepped on my king tower, so obviously a +1 trade. Gonna be able to get some counter push with my guards here, and he doesn't know what our deck is, and that's the best thing. If your opponent goes in for a Hog Rider and you have Tornado, Pekka, and Zappies, you're going to have multiple answers to their Hog spam, while they are just going to be stuck there confused and perplexed and bewildered by the fact that you've got a Princess Graveyard deck. So I'm 110% here for it. In fact, I'm going to go for a Pekka off to the side in case you wanted to go for a Magic Archer. I was expecting him to kind of support that a little bit more. And you know what? I can Graveyard. I think the Skeletons are going to distract the Prince. Come on, don't target Pekka. Don't target Pekka. What? Are you kidding me right now? But the princess is locked onto the tower. Are you joking? This is hilarious. The princess is popping off. That's what I was anticipating. I was like, you know what? I think Prince is going to be one of the best cards to get countered by guards too. And I can probably get away with a simple bar barrel here on top of the Mega Knight. So he's going to go arrow behind his king tower and just gives up. That's so sad. Doesn't do any damage to my tower. Realizes when we activate King Tower and we have Zappies, Princess, Guards, Pekka, there's absolutely no way for that he's ever going to break through. I feel a little bit bad for people that play this type of matchup, but, you know, free trophies for me, so we'll keep climbing up.
A few dominances asserted later.
So that was an exceptionally easy win. We 3-crowned him without any tower damage on either of our sides. You love to see it, especially with a deck that I made myself. All right, let's get on to the next one. Let's see if we can keep it up. First things first, I'm going to go for the princess in the back, and we're figure out what this guy's got.
Show me what you got.
Obviously, we want to make him think that we've got a log bait deck, so I don't want to dish out any Pekka too fast. But, wait. This might be worth it. He's going to pull the Pekka on top of his tower.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
He's not ready. The reason why he cycled the fisherman there is because he thought he knew what my deck was, but now he doesn't know. And what he doesn't know is going to hurt him on so many different levels. The Pekka's going to lock onto the tower, and we are munching good tonight, guys. You'll love to see it. So, you know, the reason why he did that, as I said before, is he thought he knew what he was playing against. And when he didn't, then he got absolutely bamboozled and destroyed. So I'm going to get guards down so we don't take any damage from the Archer Queen, or maybe we still do. Yeah, I guess we're going to take some damage. I got to get Zappies down. I think that we're okay, though. The Zappies should be able to reset the Royal Giant, so the Royal Giant's going to be like,
wait, what? What's happening here? Why am I not shooting the tower?
the bad thing is I've activated King Tower. We're playing against RG, so it's not necessarily going to give me that big of an advantage. I was hoping maybe it would be hidden a little bit different with that King Tower activation like we did against the Hog Rider player, where we just make the dude like rage quit because he's like,
okay, yeah, I'm not going to be able to break through a Pekka, tornado, zappies, and a freeze.
But I still think, despite him having a Royal Giant fast cycle, he won't be able to outpace the rest of our cards. I'm going to Barbarian Barrel here, so then the Rail Ghost locks onto that instead of my Princess Tower. I think he's going to Fisherman in the middle, so I want to go in for a Pekka here. I wonder if that's going to protect it. I don't think so. It was close. It was close. I'm able to freeze as well, so this is worth it if he goes and clicks the ability, which he will. So I'm going to freeze, and then I think we get skeletons from our opponent. Oh, is it going to one-tap the Archer Queen? Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. That's beautiful. So the only thing that's a bit scary is the fact that he would have log for our guards, but now we can use guards plus tornado to fully counter his Royal Giant. So I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore. Going to wait till last possible second, make sure that the Royal Giant doesn't get any hits, and that's going to be a good trade. We'll take that because the guards give us counter push as well. I'm going to go for a princess on the other side. He logs this time on the guards. I wonder if he's going to try to outcycle me. I mean, I do have good answers to you with the Pekka, so I'm not too scared. I highly doubt that he's going to go in for a Fisher Boy again. It just wouldn't make that much sense. In fact, I want to go and protect our stuff just in case, and then I can go in for a graveyard and freeze on top of all this stuff if I need to. I think that's worth it. Just to finish off the Archer Queen and get more damage. Yeah, the Electric Spirit's going to give him some value, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I've got Tornado again, so I'm going to go do that every chance I get. I don't want to go for Pekka because it's just going to get yoinked by his Fisher Boy, so don't want to lose the game for no reason whatsoever, right? Rather play safe than sorry. I think that the Archer Queen dies, and with 600 HP on the tower, I can definitely go in for a Graveyard Freeze, but I want to go for a Princess first so I can get that damage. If the Princess locks on, it's going to force that extra Elixir, and it's like a log bait deck, but it's Graveyard. It's just way more toxic. So I'm able to go in for a freeze here and walk away with a win. The Princess almost gave us the W, but, you know, I had to go for the Graveyard Freeze in the end. This is such an annoying deck that people are not prepared for because usually they're like,
Oh, there's going to be a Graveyard Freeze at my tower.
but they also have to drop something in front of their tower that won't counter the Graveyard Freeze to stop the Princess. And when they do, they're going to have less Elixir for the Graveyard Freeze on their tower. But if they don't stop the Princess, you're just going to get a casual 500 damage. And you don't even have to go in for the Graveyard. That's the best thing. If you get 500 damage with a 3 Elixir Princess, it's always worth it. I feel like this is probably one of the best decks I've made in a long time. So let's see if we can continue to pop off today. What is this guy going to have? First things first, Princess in the back. Give our opponent the suspicion that we've got log bait. And then he's not going to be able to escape his horrible fate. Love when they fireball because then your zappies are going to get profuse value. If they go in for a log on top of your princess, then you're like, oh, I guess I can go in for a graveyard and freeze. And you're going to have a limited amount of answers in your arsenal to deal with that because now you don't have like a small spell to remove all the skeletons that are swarming you. There's a lot of things here that I like about this deck. And one thing's for sure, we're playing against a Pekka Bridge Spam player. Without Fireball, if he spams in the other side, I can activate King Tower with whatever unit he drops. Or if he goes Battle Ram, I've got Zappies. So in either case scenario, I think it's going to be a vibe, and I don't think it's going to be that bad. The one thing is, I don't want that hit my tower for too long, so I am going to go for Zappies here, and he's not going to have Fireball, so I can go in for a Graveyard. And the reason why I'm playing so aggressive is because I'm up a bit of Elixir, and I can permanently reset the Pekka, and I think that that will be worth it. If I take the tower here, then it's going to be a vibe, so I'm going to freeze if I can. If I can afford it, I don't think I can, though. Yeah, I just ended up eating way more damage than I should have. I should have tornadoed that directly to the King Tower, but I was like, it's worth it, you know? Just being a bit more patient and potentially taking the entire tower to eat 2,000 damage and then be in an even situation. I'd rather be even and have the chance of winning the game right then and there. I don't know. I guess I play with frisky and just one of those situations where people have different risk tolerances, right? So if you guys are an absolute animal like me and you don't care about your towers, do what I just did. But if you want to play safe and methodical and guarantee that you win the game in the late game, probably better for you guys to go and activate King Tower with the Royal Ghost on the right-hand side and only take like 1,000 damage instead of 2,000. So I'm going to go in for Zappies here, see what this guy also is going to do. Like, usually they want to fireball the lane of the 2, so I was going to cycle 2 on the left-hand side instead of the 1 on the right. So I'm going to go in for a Pekka on the right-hand side because I don't think he's able to break through, like, guards plus freeze and all my other stuff on the other side, so I don't want to overspend here. I'm going to go in for a princess, and then I think I can go in for a barbaril, and then I can go in for guards as well. So I'm going to take a little bit of damage, but since I've activated King Tower, it's not going to be too bad. Especially if you want to fireball, I think that's an overcommitment because now we guarantee that we win the battle at the river with our zappies. This is amazing. Permanently resetting his stuff is fantastic. All right, I'm going to go in for Pekka here, and then I can go in for a graveyard with our Pekka crossing the river. Since he hasn't activated King Tower, this is definitely going to be a vibe. Only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is the fact that I have to defend this with a freeze, and then I won't have as much Elixir on the other side. So I'm going to barbaril here. Should be able to kill the Electro Wizard and pull back the rest of our opponent's stuff with the Tornado. I expect him to go in for Magic Archer on the Barbarian. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh, wait. No. We got this on lock. The Pekka's on top of the King Tower, too. It's forcing out more Elixir. He does not want to do that. So I'm going to go in for zappies here, and then I've got freeze. So even if the barbarians connect to the tower, we're still okay because they're not going to be able to do enough damage in time. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, baby. GG, well played, and peace out. So we were about to 3-crown him at the very end of the game at 1,300 HP, and he's just like, Jake, it's too easy for you. And it might be. We're getting 26 trophies from that win, and we have not lost a game today. Looking at those wins all in a row feels phenomenal. And now we're at 6,765 trophies. It's ridiculous to be able to push up with your own decks, and I just love this element of Clash Royale. Creating different decks every day is definitely the way. Hey, so jumping into this one, we're going to see what's happening. You guys already know we want to slow roll this deck because we will get a much better matchup in double elixir. If we can pop off with a big push with the Pekka, the freeze, and all of our other stuff, that's going to be the vibe. Hey, hello, Hog Rider. I love seeing you here. Activate my King Tower at the start of the game, and then your opponent's just going to be looking at the card and be like, well, you have absolutely everything to blame. If your Hog Rider activates King Tower at the very start of the game, this is one of the worst feelings because you're kind of having to claw your way back into the game for the rest of the time. So I'm going to slow roll a Pekka here. I don't want to get ambitious and cycle something in front of our tower. In fact, even if the Ice Spirit locks onto my Pekka, it's going to allow me to build up a bigger push. I'm going to go for guards on the other side, so then I think that the cannon is going to lock onto the guards instead of the Pekka, and maybe we're able to focus all of our opponent's stuff with the freeze. Wait, this could work out really, really well. I think if we can freeze our opponent's stuff, the skeleton should be able to surround because he now doesn't have login cycle. The Pekka might even lock onto the tower, but I think the skeletons are going to get down in time. So well played to our opponent. Playing against 2.6 Hog Rider will be a more difficult matchup than the last Hog Rider deck for sure. The last Hog Rider deck, I had no clue what it was. This one's going to be more tough. I'm still going to play my absolute best, and we'll see if we can put ourselves to the test. Taking no Hog Rider hit damage is always the vibe. If you're able to shut that down and then combine forces with either guards or barbarian barrel to snipe the musketeer crossing the river, then you're going to be hitting different. But this is what we want to do. If I Princess of the River, we're incorporating the annoying log bait element of the deck too. Because that might even be 2 hits. I think it is 2 hits with the Princess. And if he goes in for a Hog Rider, we're going to have Pekka here. So no matter what he wants to do, we have multiple ways of getting damage on his towers. And it combines all in double elixir, where you can get the Princess on the field when he drops something on top of the graveyard. And then you're able to get more damage from that perspective later on. I'm going to slow roll a Pekka in front of my tower because there's a high probability that he goes in for a Hog Rider into it. And I don't want to drop my Pekka too far back. So just making sure that we are playing safe rather than sorry is always the vibe. I think the Pekka does shut that down. And then I can go in for a graveyard and a freeze. So one thing is for sure, he might stop that from crossing the river, and then I would go for a barbell, so I can still guarantee that I have a tank here. I'm going to go in for a tornado so we can kill the skeletons, and then pull the musketeer in front of the tower to finish it off a little bit faster. It's always worthwhile doing that. If you can distract the Pekka with skeletons, you're going to get the best elixir trade of your life. And obviously, if I'm on the other side of that interaction, it's a zero-sum game, and I'm not playing that Monopoly game, bro. We're going to take all of your towers and give you the worst rent possible. We're living rent-free inside your head, though, with that Pekka and the tornado. We've got so many different things to annihilate him. Yo, this Barbell is going to clean up the skeletons, too, hopefully. Oh, it doesn't. Barely not enough. But unfortunately, the Musketeer doesn't lock onto the tower. He is still cycling stuff into us. He's really annoyed by my deck. If you're that annoyed, I feel like you're going to switch your deck from 2.6 Hog Rider afterward. Like, there's a lot of decks that 2.6 is terrible into, and this is one of them. Because I've got Pekka, I've got Tornado, I've got multifarious ways of getting damage with the Princess of the River and the Graveyard Freeze. So no matter what you got, dude, you're just frozen in your tracks wondering, how the heck are you going to win this game? Yeah, it's unfortunate the cannon locked onto us. I think he's going to have to Fireball here on top of the Zappies. I definitely want to Tornado the Skeletons and the Musketeer into the Pekka. I know that you guys love that play, because if you go in for a Pekka and you're able to get that directly on top of an Archer Queen or a Musketeer because of your Tornado, it's the best feeling in the world. 27 trophies, but the win was absolutely priceless. You love to see it? Let's bounce on to the next one. 2.6 is one of the most common decks in Clash Royale, so if you can crush it, that's a definition of a pretty good deck for ladder. Hey, yo, we got another one here. So first things first, we're just going to drop a good luck, and I really hope that this guy's actually embodying the lightning symbol in his deck. If this guy's running lightning and he has no answer to Graveyard Freeze, then we're hitting different out here. So usually with our deck, we want to wait till double elixir because we'll always get a better matchup with Graveyard Freeze. So if you're not going to cycle anything, I'm not going to either. But you're going to go for the baby dragon in the back right when I said that, man. I was ready to chill, relax, drink some water, but you do not want me to be hydrated out here, dude. You are insidious and pretty, I don't know, patient but aggressive, sir. You know, right at the worst possible timing.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
You go in for the aggression. Oh, wait, he's going to graveyard on us. Okay, I don't want to show that I have graveyard yet, so I think it's better for me to go in for a princess. I would love for this guy to overextend and go in for a poison on top of our princess, and then just lose the game because then I graveyard freeze him. So you can't go in for graveyards until your opponent doesn't think that you have graveyard if you're playing against someone that's got poison. This might be one of the worst matchups imaginable for us. I'm just going to be honest. We're going to try our hardest, and we'll see if we can pull it out. Baby Dragon's going to come down. I definitely want to go for a Barbarian Barrel here and then go for a Pekka. Reason is, if I can keep the princess alive, I'm able to do more damage to the tower. He's not going to have Barbarian Barrel and Cycle, so that's what we're going for. It's so much damage with that princess. And then I can go for Zappies, maybe? The Zappies aren't going to keep the princess alive, but maybe we can get one extra hit because the Zappy reset the Barbarian Barrel. So that's okay. We're kind of not winning the game, but as long as we go opposite lane of our opponent, that's what we're looking for. Also, I'm going to go in for a princess here. This is too good for him to pass up with on the poison. He could have hit the tower, so.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I needed that so bad.
For my mental and also for my chances of winning the game, because I was like, I think I baited out the poison. I think I did well enough. Please, Clash Royale, give me the benefit. And I think we got this. I think we got a lot of damage here with the guards coming through. I think the Ice Wizard was dropped slightly too early, so I'm going to freeze here as well. The guard is going to give us the value. Let's go! Come on, Gary the guard. Pop it off. That's what I'm talking about. That is delicious. Dedicated damage with the guard, you know. He's just trying to defend and then going on offense afterward. That's definitely the vibe that we're looking for. So I'm going to go for guards again, just because I think it's going to be our best bet. I don't want a tornado. I want to force out the poison every chance I can. Then if he's going to go in for the knight, I don't want that to hit my tower. I wonder if that tornado is bad. I think I should have eaten the damage and then graveyarded. Yeah, I definitely should have eaten the damage and graveyarded. So my bad. I definitely didn't play that as well as I could have. It is what it is. You live and you learn. But maybe the graveyard freeze can come down. We're going to force out the tornado. And we're going to force out Elixir on the other side. So this counter push is going to give him absolutely nothing. But we will vibe with that for right now. I'm going to go in for Zappies to get more value on the other side. I'm going to try to stop this from crossing, but I can't. So I'm going to go for a princess and then a Barb Barrel again. The Barbarian Barrel can hit the knight, then we're not going to be in a tragic position, I believe. All right, so the graveyard was bad on our opponent's end. I guess he didn't get as much RNG as he was hoping for. So I'm going to go for our own here. And with the Zappy still alive, maybe we can tornado this back so then the Zappies can lock him to the tower. That's what we're hoping for here. Oh my gosh, this is so close. Please let me win the game. Oh no, dude, I'm going to lose. I can't stop this. I need to like stop the knight from crossing the river. But if I go for a graveyard at this exact time and then I eat the baby dragon, is this the vibe that we're looking for? I got to go like princess or freeze on defense. This is so scuffed. I got to freeze on defense against the graveyard skeletons. No. So I got to be honest with y'all. If I played that a little bit better, I would have won the game. The guy played extremely well. He did have poison, so that is a bit of a hard counter to us. Maybe I should have went in for some more princesses at the river. Maybe if I hadn't used that tornado at the last second that I did against the knight in the earlier graveyard poison push that he did, and I went for a graveyard earlier, then it would have allowed me to get that 300 damage that I needed to secure the win. So even if you play against a graveyard poison deck and you've got graveyard freeze, you can win because princess is so overpowered in this deck. It's cool to see another deck that uses princess effectively that isn't just a log bait deck. Okay, this guy is significantly lower than us, like 100 trophies under us, so I do not know what Clash Royale is thinking, but we're gonna be vibing with it. I'm gonna go for the princess in the back, and this guy's gonna go for a banditos. So it's likely gonna be a Pekka deck if I had to guess. If we're playing against a Pekka player, it is extremely important that I protect my princess, because we want to bait out the fireball or the poison. Wait, what? Okay, I have no clue what this is. This is a Musketeer plus an interesting bandit. So, oh, it's Mega Knight again. Okay, we played against Mega Knight before. We're going to be playing against it again. I'm going to go for a Zappy so then the Mega Knight doesn't jump. And then we should be able to permanently reset that Mega Knight. Make sure that the Musketeer dies to the Zappies and the Pekka. This is going to be profound counter push, guys. I'm here for it. If you zap, that is such a stellar overcommitment, my dude. I'm going to go in for a graveyard and then I can freeze because I'm up a lot of elixir. Wait, the princess is going to go on the skeletons instead. Am I able to guide my Pekka towards the tower? I believe that we can make it happen for the memes. Let's go, freeze. Oh, this game's already over. There's nothing he can do. Literally, nothing. If you play against people lower than you in trophies, that makes them slip-ups. Yeah, they're not going to have a good time. For the most part, I've been hard countering everyone that I've been playing against with this Pekka deck, and when people make mistakes, they're just going to make the game even harder for themselves.
A few dominance is asserted later.
I've been getting more free wins with this deck than any other deck that I've played recently, and it was hilarious to see how the Ram Rider got stuck on our Pekka. It was moving absolutely nowhere at the end of the game. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more daily content, and have an awesome rest of your day.